watermelon.
Hello guys and welcome back to CLG's live coverage of the Corsair Vengeance Cup. Please excuse Enzi, he's a bit special. And we are live here into the second game between SK Gaming and CounterLogicGaming.eu. This has the makings of a real cracker here, Enzi. And the question is, are we going to see any first level ganks or team fights? Probably not likely, as there is a ward down there that the entirety of SK are just going to plow right past. And of course this is going to allow CLG to basically move down, perhaps actually catch them out of position, as they are actually going to probably see that Lee Sin still stood in the bush, so there could potentially be a team fight on the cards. Either way, let's continue on with the action here as Candy Panda and Kevin are taking point, joined by Lee Sin and also Rise just behind them. It's kind of tough to call what's about to happen, Enzi, because, you know, if SK start to push across this lane towards that bush, they're going to be severely caught out in this position. But every second they're stood in this bush, CLG know exactly what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, if they cross right now, they're gonna know. So I just think they're gonna go back to their jungles. They're just gonna get their respective buffs. I don't think that we're gonna see any fights. And great warning though.
Yeah, you've really just got to give them props there for that warning, but here we go, we could see a team fight kicking off as another ward is in the opposite bush. This could be a very dead Kennen indeed. Ignite's popping down him, he has chugged the health pot, but Lee Sin will just jump on him to finish off that kill. That's going to be first blood going into the hands of SK, and more importantly into the hands of Dedrian there with the Lee Sin. He's going to be a real handful in that jungle, and Kennen must be feeling pretty damn hard done by right now, as Ash could also be following suit. Tristana's hot on the prowl, on the pursuit here, as Udi is going to pop that flash. Is the bear form going to come in? Stun has been landed as well. Surely Ash will be falling here. She may be able to get back towards her tower. Udi is right behind us, going to land the second stun and finished Ash off. So two very early kills coming in here for SK. And if Janna's not careful, she could be following suit, as well as Lee Sin has landed the resonating strike and also the sonic wave beforehand. So Janna lost about a quarter of her HP, but she's not going to go down. But Enzi, wow, at this action at the very beginning, as SK starting very strong indeed.
Absolutely. I mean, that was great play from SK right there. The positioning was just on, the communication was there, they caught them out just at the right time. It was just really great play from SK. They stayed together, they focused the same target. It was really great stuff. And 2 kills, 2-0 this early on, I don't think we've actually seen it in the Corsair yet.
We definitely haven't seen it between teams of this caliber, Enzi. In the first couple of rounds we saw similar stuff to this. We saw, kind of 3 or 4 kills going down. But when you have the likes of SK against, say, CLG.eu, you really don't expect 2 players to get caught out so comfortably. But that was the case. A lot of summoner spells were used in the process of picking those kills up. And interestingly enough, we're actually going to see Janna and Ash in mid lane. Ash comes in there from Taric. Beautiful Howling Gale used instantly from Janna, though, popping Taric into the air. They could have actually picked up the kill into Taric there. Dangerously low health is going to pull back, so we're actually going to see the roles reversed here. It's going to be the 2 solo mid characters going at solo top, the 2 top characters going bottom, and the AD and support characters going in mid. My mind is full of fudge right now.
I don't know, maybe it was something that happened last game. Maybe they're just kind of trying to put the other team off. We do see that if they don't want to, go a mismatch or something like that. But yeah, pretty weird to see, but it's viable. I mean, it's basically the same lanes if you put into context.
Intriguing stuff is going to be on the cards, and how this is going to affect the dragon and such, as Lee Sin is going to try his best to jump on top of that Gangplank. Gangplank being forced to flash through there onto the dragon pit and go back towards bottom lane. And still, I'm kind of at a loss for words here, Enzi. This is the first time that we've actually seen this occur in the Corsair Vengeance Cup, so this is kind of catching me out a tiny bit. But either way, very interesting nonetheless. Of course, with those 2 early kills on the board, you have Tristana on 1 kill, Lee Sin on 1 kill, and Udia actually picked up the assist on both of those early kills. So really looking really good here for SK.
Yeah, it's practically the same. I mean, all it is, it's going to change a little bit. I mean, he's going to change the contestant with the dragons, of course, the ganks as well. But apart from that, nothing really changed. I mean, you've got the same matches with the characters, so I don't think it's really going to do a great deal. But Ocelot very much pushed back to his tower there, losing on a bit of creeps.
Yeah, but he is last hitting pretty well. So he's currently on 32 creep score to Kennan's 24. So he is ahead by about 8 or so. Looking good for this early on in the game. And of course, Kennan did die early on as well. So are we going to see some action from Lee Sin here? The answer is resounding no, as instead he is actually going to recall. Thought for a second he could potentially go towards that top lane. Nocturne, in the meantime, is just going to farm down those golems as well. So both the junglers aren't really too involved as of yet in this game, apart from the opening 20 to 40 seconds or so. Bot lane Wicked has been pushed back very aggressively from Kevin on that Udea, and it's pretty much just going to be down to that farming phase. And not a great deal else is occurring right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a farming phase. You normally see this. We had a burst of action in the first couple of minutes, which was really, really nice to see. Haven't really seen it all that much during the Corsair Vengeance Cup. But, you know, it's just going to go back to farming now, wait for them ganks, and then wait till that farming stage is obviously over, get the dragons and all that good stuff, and then we can see the real fights come and happen.
Having said that, though, Rise is under a lot of trouble here at the top lane, but here comes Lee Sin to come to the aid of his teammate, using the Iron Will to provide the shield. Now could be going on to the Nocturne, but Nocturne and Kennan are both going to pull back, and Ocelot very nearly baiting to perfection there at the top lane. As I said before, you know, junglers haven't been that involved so far. There we go, at top lane, both of them. Nocturne does have the level lead over Lee Sin, but Lee Sin isn't too far behind him, so very nice play from both of them. In fact, the two junglers are going to be coming head-to-head again very shortly, perhaps, as Lee Sin is going to go for the counter jungle. Nocturne was stood there, knew exactly what was going on, but with less than half health, couldn't really afford to stand toe-to-toe with Lee Sin and that red buff. Here we go, top lane, no, Kennan's going to be very aggressive. We'll get the kill actually there on towards Rise, and dodges the Sonic Wave as well. On top of that, beautiful play coming in from Froggen, and he is going to get his revenge there for that first blood going against him. Has moved back to 1-for-1 and is going to recall. Great stuff from him.
Great stuff indeed. But I just want to remind everybody, I am not actually in the game right now, so if Vince does just kind of take over, it's because basically we have no other option. We want the best quality possible, so Bass is in the game streaming with Vince, and I am watching the stream with you guys on an 11-second delay. It's not good.
Indeed. A couple of people mentioning, you know, in chat, hey, have I been asleep the last few months, or do we currently have the AD and support in mid lane? Indeed, this is definitely out of the ordinary, obviously mixing it up here, but it's a great watch though, I have to admit, it's very enjoyable to actually partake in here, as for some reason Tarek has actually gone bottom lane, did land a stun onto Gangplank, but of course Gangplank can eat his way out of that if he so chooses with the remove Scurvy. He didn't choose to do so on that occasion, and he's actually doing pretty damn well against Udi right now. How is the creep score looking at that bot lane? Gangplank on 42, Udi at 53, so Udi on top of that one for sure, with the 2 assists as well. There could potentially be a dragon coming in from SK here at the 8-minute 40 mark. Gangplank realises that something is amiss, something is awry, but to be completely honest, with 5 players from SK down there, Ken's still at solo top. Ash is only just starting to move in. The dragon should be there comfortably. Asher has came in. Had that have missed Tristana, I think Tarek would have actually been hit there and killed. That would have been absolutely insane. But instead, the stun did come in there onto Tristana. Now going to be chasing after the Janna. Kennan is still nowhere to be found. He is going to take this opportunity, though, to try and steal that blue buff, to go into the opposition jungle and take down the blue. So, thought for a second we could have a team fight on the cards there, but SK just too quick onto Dragon.
I'm still watching the team fight, Vince. I just saw the arrow. So I must be like 15 or 20 seconds behind you right now. So, yeah. This is
it's
like
unfortunate.
Impossible.
It is unfortunate, dude, but it's better than nothing, unfortunately. We don't have the tournament client, guys, so Enzi is watching the stream alongside you, guys and girls back at home there. So if I do jump in, that's the reason why. We don't want to miss any of the action. But let's have a quick look, see while there's a bit of a slowdown in the pace of the action, exactly how the items are being spread across these two teams. Ash in the mid, not often that you'd be saying that, has picked up 3 Doran's Blades. On the opposition, Tristana has already picked up that BF sword. Of course, no small part down to the fact that she did get that first blood, so she is going to be doing a lot more damage, but Ash is slightly tankier as it stands, especially with that Janna and Eye of the Storm as well. But Tarek, of course, can throw that heal if he so chooses, the imbue. So pretty much even in the mid as of yet. Let's have a look at top. How is Rise doing? How is Ocelot faring against Froggen? Thought for a second there, kind of was about to interrupt myself as I could see Lee Sin lurking around the bush, but he hasn't decided to jump in as of yet. I think they're waiting for Tarek, but there's a ward down there in the river, so they know in the river even, so they know exactly what is on its way. And Kennen is going to throw out that shuriken, knowing exactly what to expect. In the meantime, Lee Sin is still just lurking around there, Enzi, so potentially a team fight on the cards, but I don't think Froggen is going to allow himself to get caught out just yet.
Yep, Snoope did just hit that level 7 as well, was previously level 6, obviously has that armor as disposal as well, so he is free to gank all he wants and try and proc off that fear as well, so maybe some nice gank going to be shown from the CLG side, but you know, nothing else I can really report on Vince. It is very, very even, 2 kills to 1, not much gold left in it as well, and maybe a fight kicking off, although I'm really behind, so you might not see anything.
Yeah, nothing quite kicking off just yet. There was a kind of glimpse of a potential 2v3 fight in the mid lane. Nocturne did join forces with Ashe and Janna, but he is going to pull back instead. So nothing is going to quite go down there. In the meantime, at bot lane, it's pretty much just back to basics, just that farm phase. As Udyr has 77, Gangplank on 63. There is going to be somewhat of a pressure applied there from Udyr, doing a lot of damage. But let's switch over to Rise, as he could be getting taken out from Kennen. Does try his best to dodge those attacks, but it's not going to be enough, as Kennen will pop off the electrical surge, finishing off Ocelot. And remember, guys, that Kennen actually died first. He was the recipient of the first blood, and he has came back very, very strong there. So Froggen doing a great job.
Yep, Froggen doing a very good job indeed. 2-1 now, I do believe. And like I said, you know, at the start of the game, watch Froggen on Kennen. So strong. And that's exactly why I was kind of all happy about it, because every time I see Froggen play Kennen, magic happens.
Absolutely, Froggen is an absolutely sick mid character, although this time he's playing solo top, so that's kind of thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, but nonetheless, you get the idea. And you can now see that Lee Sin is starting to make a move at that bot lane with the red buff. Of course, he can really bridge that gap very, very quickly. He has the safeguard, so he can jump onto the Udyr, and if he can manage to land the resonating strike and sonic wave, we could be seeing some action here, but Gangplank prematurely, I think, popping the ultimate, perhaps just trying to stop Udyr from taking down that turret. Will clear the creep wave out. And Lee Sin, obviously, in the meantime, is like, damn, I was going to go for the gank and now I can't manage to do anything. So I'm just going to pull back, go into the opposition jungle. You know, unbeknownst to him, though, the blue and the wolves have already been taken. At top lane, thought for a second we could be seeing some action indeed. That could very well be the case. Paranoia has been popped. Unspeakable Horror and the slice of the Maelstrom from Kennen. This is going to be a very dead Rise once again. Ocelot has been killed 3 times in the opening 13 minutes and 20. And Kennen is doing a great job at top with Nocturne in that jungle, Enzi. In the meantime, at bot lane, Gangplank is also going to be dropped there from the combination of Lee Sin and Udyr as well. So whatever Nocturne can do, Lee Sin can do just as well. Tit for tat action there. Gank at top, gank at bottom, going either way. And the end result is a 3 for 3, with SK having about a 400 gold lead.
I'm a bit confused. I mean, Rise has died 3 times, obviously, Ocelot. He did pick up that ward, you know, at this kind of stage. Like, say if I was playing, you know, Rise in that position right now, I mean, you push to your tower 24/7. The most you can do is ward the side bush, you know, but even 75 gold, that's going to put you behind, especially as you're missing out on so much. You're 0 to 3. You know, you just need to stay in lane as long as possible, but you know, he's just at that stage right now where Nocturne and Kennen can just literally jump onto him every single time they want to. And, you know, Rise is just like one of them champions. Like, if it was 0 to 1 or something, like, or just pushed constantly, he could still do good late game. But if they constantly keep doing this, they're going to completely shut down Rise. He's going to be so useless, and nothing can really happen. Because, you know, Rise is very item-based.
He is very item-based, and to be fair to him, Enzi, at the moment, he's not that far behind Kennen. Kennen has 88 creep score, and Rise has 87, so they're very, very close in that respect, so he can still pull his way back into this game. As you say, he's mana-dependent, he is item-dependent as well, so he can still manage to pull this one back for himself. Dragon has respawned, and surprise, surprise, CLG are going to be all over that like a rash. going to be trying to pick up this dragon with all 5 of them, and they're going to get that very, very quickly indeed. And I have to say that SK didn't really react to that. To be entirely honest, with Rise at top lane, I don't think they'd have even wanted to. Even if they had 4 players around that dragon area, it wasn't worth the 4v5. Just basically gift the opposition that dragon, don't lose any needless deaths, and they're still pretty much all even on the gold end. This could not be any closer right now.
Yep, SK got the first dragon, CLG with the second, so probably both of them got that timer down now. And, sorry?
I think Kennen is about to become in a world of pain here. There are 4 players starting to surround around him here. Are we going to see a kill onto Frog? And he has popped the ultimate off Lee Sin, Tarek, Tristana and Rise, and he is going to be taken down there, very nearly returning a kill though onto that Tarek, who's still taking down from Ignite. And that goes to show how scared of Froggen they are. They need 4 players to make sure he goes down. Ash Arrow has came up there. I think that was a tiny bit, optimistic to say the least. Maybe he was trying to finish off that tower as he ran away, but instead it hit Lee Sin. That's going to be 4 for 3 on the kills, and for towers it's 2 to 1, but very even still, Enzi. And that's now going to be 2 for 2, so CLG have just taken the gold lead by about 500.
Nice team play, killing Kennen there up top. But I mean, did you see that damage Froggen actually initially did onto Nif before they killed him? He could have easily got the kill on towards Tarek if he was just a bit more like he had a little bit more time. The damage coming out from Froggen already is so good. What kind of items has he got? Building towards Will of the Ancients, and that's about it at the moment. And he's got that Sorcerer Boots as well. And later on this game goes, Kennen is going to become stronger and stronger.
Indeed he will, and I think it's one of the reasons they're trying to focus him down there at top lane while they had 4 players that were free to do so. And you can see that Kennen is 2-2-1, has 99 creep score to Rise's 97. He has the Hex Deck Revolver, the Sorcerer's Shoes, the Giant's Belt, and also the Amplifying Tome. So it looks like he will be going Will of the Ancients here. But either way, let's have a quick switch over to that bot lane where Kevin has already taken the tower down. And Kevin is looking very strong here. 124 creep score to Gangplank's 113. Kevin is on 102, Gangplank 011. So looking good from Kevin once again here. And I thought for a second maybe Nymph was going to be in all kinds of troubles from Kennen and Nocturne. He actually could still definitely be the case if he looks around for too long, as Kennen is going to pick up that blue buff. Here comes the cavalry though, Tristana and Rise as well as the Ash Arrow lands onto Tarek's forehead. Here comes Kennen, here comes the paranoia from Nocturne as well. That's going to be at least 1 kill, could potentially pick up a second onto Lee Sin. Beautiful dragon kick though, knocking back 2 or 3 players into each other, and Lee Sin is going to live to fight for another day. At the meantime, I thought we were going to see some action at the bot lane there between Udyr and Gangplank, but not to be. They're just going to continue to farm on here. But again, it just goes to show how strong Nocturne is. And we saw him in the last game as well. He's such a good ganker.
Yeah, but just like I said, that Ash just initiated the fight right there, made the play. Really great stuff from Yellow P on that Ash with that arrow to catch out Nif. And then, Nocturne came in as well with that fear. Did a great job to follow it up. But someone actually mentioned in chat, which I didn't actually pick up on, the lane switch is actually, now thinking about it, is killing Rise. Because, Kennen has that Lightning Rush to just get away easily. Rise has to basically go on foot. So if Rise does push, then Kennen's able to easily speed up to him, easily get the stun off, and the Shurikane as well. So, whoever said that, you're a smart guy. I wish I was more like you.
But either way, let's have a quick look at that goal differential. You're going to have 26.8k coming in for CLG there, and 24.4 coming in from SK. Very close for 19 minutes through the game. No huge gaps here. 3-2 on towers, and this could actually be a dead Kennen if he doesn't watch out. Having said that, the Rise is on very, very low health, so Kennen could actually feasibly try the tower dive. His ultimate has just came off cooldown now, but instead he is going to pull back and just get some more creep score. No reason to go tower diving when he's not entirely sure where the rest of the opposition team are. But either way, back to the farming phase once again. Let's have a quick look, see at some of these items that have been built up. Gangplank is taking Infinity Edge, Enzi, so he's not appearing to go for the fast tanky kind of approach. He's wanting to go raw damage to start off with instead. Interesting stuff there.
I'm trying to think of why he's doing that. Maybe they just plainly want more damage. Looking at SK's lineup, Rise later game he gets very tanky. Udyr is pretty much tanky as well if you do build him that way. But you know, Rise has been shut down. He's 0-3 right now. What's his crucible like? He's relatively good, but you know, he's still not going to be as strong as Kennen. So you know, maybe trying to just dominate this early game and try and make it for the late.
Oh, it could be another team fight kicking off here as Udyr is overextending. He does have some support though in the backside from Lee Sin and Tarek and Tristana as well. And Ashe actually burnt her ultimate previously, just basically to stop the onslaught from Lee Sin and Tristana. So I think it definitely factored into why they didn't actually push in there. Janna was on fairly low health as well. Going to have Ashe and Nocturne both recall. I'm going to try and pick up some items. But yeah, it kind of thrown me off guard a tiny bit. The Gangplank has an infinite edge. Obviously he's going to be doing a lot of nice damage there. And let's have a quick look. You've got Nocturne with the Wriggles Lantern, the Brutalizer, and Ashe also has herself an infinity edge. So you've got 2 infinity edges on the battlefield right now, just for CLG alone. And it could be a potential possibility of another team fight kicking off around blue buff here. There is a ward down there, so they did get preemptive warning that the entirety of CLG, or at least 4 of their players, will be pushing down. So Lee Sin and Tarek quickly got out of dodge. They did not want to be contesting that blue buff under those circumstances. So let's have a quick switch over on the opposite team. For Udyr, you're going to have the Wriggles Lantern, the Spirit Visage, and the Mercury Treads, and also for Tristana, the Infinity Edge. So you have 3 Infinity Edges on the battlefield. The Dragon is going to get taken out as soon as it's respawned here from CLG, unless an Exquisite Steel comes into play. That's not going to be the case, and now it could be a case that we're going to see Lee Sin and Tarek going down. Paranoia has been used there, but he gets stunned instantly. Nocturne from Tarek. There's a long way to go back to this tower, but beautiful juking from Lee Sin, using the Sonic Wave to hit the Wraiths and then jumping onto a ward, I believe that was, or an ally just next to the Wraith. So really got out of dodge quickly, and that will basically make CLG pull back. So no more kills coming into the fray just yet, Anzi.
Yeah, just back to that Gangplank thing. I think the main reason he's gone for that Infinity Edge is just try and snowball this game. I mean, early on, that damage is really going to help try and get some kills. The thing is, they have to put it into effect and make some plays now. They're just going to try and snowball the game with that Infinity Edge. I think he might go for a more tanky option, but as some of the people in the chat were playing, Atma's I think actually got relatively nerfed and isn't as good now as it was. So maybe not going to go for that either.
It's still decent, but obviously, yeah, it did get a slight nerf. But I thought for a second we were going to have some action in mid. That's why I kind of interrupted myself. You've got 5 versus 3. Kennen and Nocturne are completely out of the picture, so you could see SK push this one very aggressively. Gangplank has used his Cannon Barrage more as a way to try and stop this tower from going down, but it's not going to succeed. Big damage being incorporated here from the team of SK. They have managed to pick up the kill into Janna. Now going to retreat as a cavalry is arriving for CLG. Kennen towards the top, Nocturne through the mid, and they do have a couple of low HP characters here in the form of Tristana and Rise, but it looks like they are just going to get away absolutely fine. And it's important to note as well that SK have to be very careful when they engage, because they don't have either of their mid towers, so there's a long way for them to run back if they do get caught out, which is exactly what's happening to Lee Sin here. He could definitely be going down. Has you safeguard to jump back onto Udyr? If he survives this, it would be absolutely amazing, magnificent even, but here comes Kennen with big damage. Is going to shut down the Lee Sin. Needs to start to pull back now, as there are 3 very hungry SK players on the prowl, one of which is the Bearman himself. Udyr has taken down the Gangplank, and now Kennen and Ashe have split ways, which is actually very smart. Don't want to go the same way, want to try and confuse the opposition. Udyr, of course, has very good movement speed, but he's consistently getting slowed down there from Kennen's Riley's Crystal Scepter, of course, which does slow when you land an ability. Still, Udyr is on the chase. He's going to get slowed once again. Kennen's Lightning Rush has definitely saved his bacon there, and both are going to recall a matter of meters away from one another. But that went down to a 7-5 scoreline in favour of SK, but they're still behind on gold, NZ.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's most important in this game, is that gold difference. And I was actually, for a second, thinking Lee Sin was going to get away. You know, he did a very good ultimate, but there was a player around the corner, and Froggen just came in and was like, bye. And great damage coming out from Froggen. He's looking so strong at the moment.
He definitely is. He's been looking very strong from the beginning, and remember, he did die first on the match. He was recipient of first blood, but he didn't let that get to him. Came back very strongly, and seeing some more items being built up here. Kennen is going to go for the large rod. Wouldn't be too surprised if we see that converted into the hourglass. Enzy, of course, is a beautiful item for Kennen. On the opposite side, you're going to see for the AP carry of SK, he has taken the Catalyst of the Protector and the Tear of the Goddess with a Banshee's Veil. Sorry, not a Banshee's Veil, Negatron Cloak. Going to properly build it into a Banshee's Veil. As we said before, Rise desperately needs that mana, so looking pretty good for him as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a mistake, Bass, but I don't see any of the items at the bottom. Just saying.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Oh, apologies there. Apparently he turns them off sometimes during the fight so you can just see a bit more vision. So apologies there. But yeah, it's still pretty even. I mean, you know, the kill difference is in favour of SK, but the gold, like we said, is the important factor in the game.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, it's going to be really interesting to see how this one plays out, NZ, because, Gangplank with that Infinite Edge is going to be doing a lot of damage, but he's also not going to be quite as tanky as an Udyr is right now. Look at Udyr, he's got the Spirit Visage, the Phage, Wriggle's Lantern, Mercury Treads, and Cloth Armor, so he's going to take a licking and keep on ticking for now, whereas Gangplank I wouldn't say that he's squishy, NZ, but he's not as tanky as he possibly could be, but he is going to be doing nice damage, though, regardless. But let's have a quick look-see at what Tristana is trying to do. Well, the answer is, not much is going to come of it either way, as Hawkshot was used to perfection. Ash did spot herself a Lee Sin, a Taric, and a Tristana as well, and she is going to start to pull back, as the jungle invaders coming in, more than likely going to be picking up this blue buff as well from SK. Candy Panda is going to take that one. Udyr, in the meantime, is going to pull back as well, so potential team fight on the cards in jungle, or perhaps not. There is a ward down there, and I don't think that CLG are going to be dumb enough to walk into that bush in a 4 versus 4 situation with a Ryze, an Udyr, and a Lee Sin. Kennen, in the meantime, is going to come face to face with that Ryze at the bot lane, so I think it's just going to go back to the farming phase yet again, NZ.
Vince, I'm sorry, but my stream is just randomly froze, so I can't do anything. So I need to
No problems. No problems. I'll take away the action again. Well, I mean, there's not really too much to report on NZ, it's very much farming, not a lot of team fights have kicked off, it's by and large been sudden bursts of magnificence, sudden bursts of huge energy, massive team fights, but apart from that, it's just pretty much been down to the farming. So let's just report on how the items are looking right now. Let's have a look at Taric. He has a Shrine's Reverie in the Heart of Gold. On the opposite team, Janna has picked up the Philo Stone and the Aegis of the Legion. Aegis of the Legion, of course, is a great item for that team even. Especially when you consider that Gangplank is going more kind of damagey. Aegis of the Legion definitely required. I think it was taken over Shirai's Reverie pretty much for that reason alone. Ryze has finished off the Glacial Shroud. Dragon is up once again. Both teams have this timing down to a T. Looks like SK are going to be engaging here. Ryze has been caught out of position. Ash has missed an arrow onto Ryze there, but here comes Gangplank teleporting down on towards Dragon. Going to be a 5v5 fight. The Dragon has already been taken down. Where is the ultimate going to come in here from Kennen? Is going to bother popping it off. Paranoia has been used from Nocturne. Janna using that Monsoon to absolute perfection, pushing back 2 or 3 players, but SK looking very strong in this team fight with Gangplank on dangerously low health. This is what I'm talking about. He does nice damage, but he's not really that tanky, and now Ash is going to try her best to kite around the rest of the SK team and allow Gangplank the opportunity to escape here. He's going to pop the ultimate just to try and get away, but a beautiful kick from Lee Sin onto the tower will finish off the life of Gangplank, and that's going to be the 9 for 5. So that was a 2 for 0 exchange at the end there, NZ. Very one-sided, and really you just got to say that SK are looking very strong in these team fights.
One of the problems there was, I think it was actually great play from Ocelot there. I mean, he came around the back, he did actually retreat at the start, but then he just snared on towards Kennen there, completely shut him down at the back of that fight, so, Kennen can go in, do all his damage he could. I still think he's actually got his ultimate up as well, and, Kennen's ultimate does so much damage for the team, so, that's a very vital part. So Ocelot there, thumbs up there, very, very nice play from him, and, later this game goes now, Ryze, he's starting to get a bit more items, he's going to be more and more powerful. I'm really looking forward to see what Ocelot can do later on this game goes now.
Indeed, as we said before, even though he was definitely down at the beginning, he died 3 times, people in chat were saying he was feeding, he was definitely not out because he was keeping himself very close on the creep score. Currently got 172, has finished off the Banshee's Veil, has a Glacial Shroud, Cloth Armor and Banshee's... Sorry, I already said Banshee's Veil. Tear of the Goddess, even. Me getting tongue-tied there. And more than likely going to be building towards that Frozen Heart energy, which of course makes him a very, very tanky character indeed. Very difficult to take down from the likes of the 80 range of Ash there. But either way, let's have a quick look at the opposition for CLG. Kennen hasn't actually added to the tally of items that he had before. And you are going to see Ash taking the the Zeal on top of the Berserker's Greaves, the Infinity Edge, and also the Cloak of Agility, so it's definitely going towards that Phantom Dancer. And this is really around the stage where Ashe becomes very, very dangerous. That Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge put together does a lot of pain to the opposition.
But you also have to feel that Rise is going to start doing a lot. I mean, he's going to be going towards that Frozen Heart. When he gets that, he's going to be very, very strong indeed, especially as Wicked obviously did go for that Infinity Edge early on. Isn't the tankiest players of what he could be. But, you know, Rise, Ocelot's job right now is just to kind of stop Kennen getting into the mix, like he did last fight. And I think they'll be alright, and I think they can probably take away this game if they can do them small things.
Absolutely. Now remember guys, we didn't actually cast the first game because we weren't too sure whether it was going on, but CLG did pick that one up. So a must-win game here for SK. You're going to have Kevin just tanking the tower and Gangplank like a boss, taking that one down with complete ease. Needs to be careful because Nocturne was definitely having a quick think about coming down and trying to gank the UD there, instead opting to pull back. In the meantime, Kevin was focusing the top, and the mark has came out onto Baron, so we could potentially be seeing SK trying to pick up that Baron. In the meantime though, Ashe was trying to peek and poke onto Lee Sin there, but not a great deal is going to come out from that one. So Gangplank has just also gone back and bought up the Spirit Visage. He has got the Cloak of Agility as well, with the Heart of Gold and Philo Stone, and you have Nocturne with the Phage, the Brutalizer, and the Wriggles. And Kennen has just picked himself up an Hourglass. And was that ending timing out, or was that Smuggy? It was Enzi, apparently, so hopefully he'll be back quite soon, but I'll just carry on regardless, guys, as I am unfortunately in the game right now. So it's just going to be two players kind of recalling here from SK, Candy Panda and Nymph, with Tristana and Tarek respectively. Udyr is going to take this opportunity to go towards that top lane with Udyr and get some more creep farm under his belt. I think he's back, Enzi. Did your internet cut out?
Read Skype.
Oh, 2k ping, lovely. Okay. Well,
I
hopefully
think I'm okay now, though.
Hopefully that'll sort itself out, dude. If not, don't worry too much. You didn't miss anything. It's just basically people kind of roaming around the map, picking up farm here, there, and everywhere. You're going to have Tristana's gone back, has picked up the Phantom Dancer, has the Infinity Edge, so a very, very similar build between the two AD carries here. Actually, on identical creep score as well, both on 231. But Tristana definitely ahead in the sense that she has 2 kills, 0 deaths and 6 assists. But let me interrupt myself as Baron is being taken right now from SK. A ward has came down there though from Janet, so they know exactly what's going on. Ashe has used this opportunity to focus down Tristana. Here comes Nocturne and the ultimate being popped off as well. And they have managed to steal the Baron on top of it all here. So CLG doing an exquisite job. Shut down from Janet onto Tristana. Lee Sin back onto Nocturne. Rises under all kinds of troubles here. He's going to get dropped as well. And the Monsoon being used to push Udyr back towards the Baron pit. This could definitely be an ace. The question is, will Kennen go down or not? He's trying his best to escape, but Lee Sin's going to land the Sonic Wave and the Resonating Strike to finish off that Kennen. That was a 3-for-3 exchange, but Udyr is on dangerously low health, and here comes the Gangplank and Janna combination with Baron buff as well. I think Udyr should be safe. The question is, will Lee Sin be? Beautiful Dukes once again. He has been slowed from Zephyr though. Here comes Gangplank with the damage, the Infinity Edge. If ever there's a time for it to come to fruition, it's right now, and Lee Sin could definitely be fallen, but he's used the safeguard back onto Udyr and is only just going to survive. And in amongst all of that, Gangplank very nearly got took out as well. I need to catch my breath, but wowzers, was that an epic battle on Baron.
I missed basically all of it. My stream was loading up, because obviously I timed out, and then I basically see just Janna in the mid. This is great.
Well,
love it.
This is one of the beauties, NZ. If you do miss some of this game, guys, you have just joined us. You can go to youtube.com/chaos contingency, and you can watch the video on demand, basically the replay, all over again for your viewing pleasure. Either way, Gangplank and Nocturne are going to try and pick up this dragon. Who's actually going to take it down, though? It's going to be SK stealing that one from under the noses there of CLG, trying to get somewhat of a bit of a kind of comeback from that Baron before that CLG so well, actually stole from underneath their noses. So kind of back and forth between these two teams. The goal difference is only 2k, which after 34.5 minutes is pretty much nothing, NZ. A tower difference is 1 in favour of SK, trying to pick up this second tower as well. They will indeed do just that, pulling that goal difference ever closer. Nocturne did get hit quite a few times for his troubles, but he is going to pull back. Kennen, in the meantime, is going to try and force the issue here, but he has been snared from Rise. I thought for a second they were just going to all jump on top of Kennen there and try and take him out the equation. He does, however, have that hourglass. Even if they had have jumped on him, he'd have just popped that and he should have been just fine. Back to the farming phase again, Enzi, but this game has definitely lived up to expectations. It's been a real cracker.
Yeah, Kennen obviously standard item with the hourglass, go straight in with the ultimate and pop it off, but also, you know, it's a great item against Rise. Rise is one of them champions who can just burst you down in an instant, and obviously popping the hourglass will prevent that. Then you can hope that he goes and focuses someone else, and then you come back and then you're like, hi, I'm back, and try and do something about it. But I think my lag has subsided, I hope it has, but I'll let you know if it hasn't.
Alrighty. So let's have a quick look back at that map once again. Of course, all the mid towers apart from the inhib ones have been taken down now, so map control is definitely relatively even in that kind of sense, but you do still have that tier 1 tower up and proud at bot lane, and that's going to be up for SK, so they're going to give a slight map advantage on the sense of dragon and such, because they can just pull back to there if it gets a bit hairy. But either way, they're now going to be pushing very aggressively onto this tower, basically just tanking this amongst themselves. Now going to try and put some more pressure on, but here comes Kennen and Nocturne, and of course if Kennen pops that lightning rush and the ultimate as well, it could get quite precarious very, very quickly here for SK. So they are going to pull themselves back, don't want to try and contest this far away from safety, and they're going to just try and steal some of these creeps on the way there. I assume that you've timed again, Enzi, so I'm just going to carry on. Apologies for this, guys. Enzi seems to be having some serious internet issues, so just going to take away the action once again. Tristana. Oh, hello. Welcome back.
Oh god, dude, this lag. I don't know what it is, that's the annoying thing. I can only apologise, guys. It's completely out of my hands. I don't know what's going on. Like, my internet was fine, and then... yeah.
No worries. Things happen, dude. It's part of casting. But either way, let's just carry on the action here. It has kind of gone to quite a slow pace once again, NZ, as you'd expect. You do have the explosions of just pure high-paced action, followed by kind of the lulls when you go back to the farming and such. But let's have a quick look at some of these items that have been built up on SK. You now have Rise of the Frozen Heart, the Banshee's Veil. He has the Tear of the Goddess, and also Mercury Treads. He has picked up the Trinity Force. He has a Chain Vest, the Spirit Visage, Wriggle's Lantern, and Mercury Treads. Lee Sin has a Wriggle's Lantern, Aegis of the Legion, Frozen Heart as well, so he's going to be very, very tanky. Tristana has added the Last Whisper to her arsenal, so she also has the Phantom Dancer and the Infinity Edge. On the opposite side, Ashe has the Infinity Edge, the Phantom Dancer, and a Vampiric Scepter alongside some Doran's Blaze and Berserker's Greaves. Kennen is looking very dangerous here. He's got Zonya's Hourglass, Will of the Ancients, Riley's Crystal Scepter, and Sorcerer's Shoes as well. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage there, a lot of magic penetration added into the mix. And Nocturne has the Randuin's Omen, so he's going to be able to slow down the entirety of the team. I like this item here, because he can paranoia his way in, use Randuin's Omen instantly, and he's going to be a real threat here with the AoE kind of slow that he puts down. Also has Phage and the Brutalize on top of that, and last but not least, Gangplank has picked himself up an Infinity Edge, a Last Whisper, Spirit Visage, Shariah's Reverie, and also the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, of course the cooldown reduction boots. So really interesting stuff.
Yeah, Gangplank opting for that more damaged base item build there, but you know, I just have to give a quick shout out. Obviously Froggen, he's been playing so good throughout this game. I know he's only on 4-3, but he's been doing so well for his team, and I think the damage coming out from him in this next team fight, what we're going to see, is going to be incredible. If it isn't, then I'll probably have to jump out the window or something, because I'll sound idiotic.
Alrighty, well, Baron should be up relatively soon, and you can kind of see that both teams aren't really wanting to engage right now. I think they're both kind of tentative, they're both quite timid, they don't want to lose a player just before Baron spawns, because that's basically going to allow the opposition to get a free Baron, which is exactly what you don't want in this kind of position. The ward coverage, by and large, isn't too great right now from CLG. They have no wards whatsoever on Baron. Pretty much all the wards that I can see are from SK right now as I'm talking, but Janna is starting to push around now with her Oracle, going to put down a couple wards as if to prove me wrong. But the question is, she's not really using the Oracle to get rid of any ward coverage on Baron, so very, very interesting play here, NZ.
I think both teams right now, they look kind of, cautious. They don't want to make a mistake because they know at this point in the game, it's 40 minutes through nearly, that one mistake can cost you the game. As we saw last game, a multitude of mistakes that wasn't finished off could easily be finished off. And, they are very, very cautious about that.
Baron's up, Enzy, and surprise, surprise, SK have started this one off. We are going to have a CV coming down as well. There is definitely going to be a team fight kicking off surely here as both teams start to edge towards one another. Baron is on less than half HP. The question is, who is going to have the balls to go in first here? It appears that both teams are just going to kind of subside and pull back. It's going to be another one of those kind of dance-off periods where neither team really wants to go in and risk losing a player or two here. But of course, when you have the likes of a Nocturne with his ultimate and that Randuin's Omen, as I said before, it's going to slow down the attack speed and the movement speed, but it appears not a great deal is going to happen. And SK are going to use this opportunity to go and pick up that top tower. Top play from them, seeing an opportunity and striking on it. They're now potentially going to go for this second tower as well, the inhib tower, as Udi is going to go ahead and tank that one, but seeing that Ken and Ash are on their way up, they are going to decide to pull back. And the question is, Enzy, are they going to go for a cheeky Baron here?
That was great thinking from SK, they kind of thought, okay, let's just go get top tower, we all know where they are right now, we can easily get at least one, maybe get the second, but they backed off, and it's possible that they could go for Baron now, because obviously all players are back at that tower, but I don't think it's happening, is it?
Oh, we could have a team fight kicking off here. Ash has popped the ultimate onto Udia. Oh wow, and Rise was also caught out of position there. I think for a split second Froggen was thinking, do I go with the ultimate or do I not? And he decided not to, so he pulled back there. So interesting play. Tarek has to be careful here. You are going to have the raise morale used, and here comes the paranoia from Nocturne surfing around that map like a madman, but it's not going to do any good as Tarek's team is starting to pull back. CLG are going to start off on this Baron. Are they going to continue to do so? Appears not to be. Here comes Rise with the big damage. It's going to completely explode the AD carry there. And suddenly it's not looking too good for CLG with a double kill coming in from Rise. Now going to be chased off. And that was the slight mistake that we were talking about, Enzy. With Ash being completely focused down. Her positioning was not good right there from Yellow P. And the Baron is going to definitely come out here from SK. Quite an optimistic Howling Gale coming in from Janna, potentially trying to steal the Baron, but that will be a Baron nonetheless. And Ash and also Nocturne are going to be down for about 35 additional seconds. The question is, can SK capitalize on this weakness from CLG? Looks to be doing just that, to be pushing this top lane. Of course, Udyr is so tanky, he can comfortably just tank this tower all day long. And with the damage that he has behind him, this tower is going to fall within a couple of seconds. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and it is going to go down. Inhib now is going to be focused upon, and this is just big body blows to CLG. And again, Enzy, it just goes to show that that slight lapse in concentration, that slight miscommunication can be all the difference. Could potentially pick up another tower here, and Gangplank along with Kedden and Janna have to be careful, because if they get caught by that rune prism from Rise, they will be disintegrating within a few seconds. But Ash and Nocturne have both respawned, and they are going to pull back, but a lot of damage was just done there from SK. Now they can pretty much steal the entirety of CLG's jungle as well.
Yeah, the thing is, CLG did have that advantage at one point. They didn't take advantage of it though. As you saw, Gangplank started off, going for that damage base, but he had to capitalize on it. He didn't capitalize on it. They were a bit too cautious and, going for team fights and such. And, that just allowed Rise to slowly get farmed up, slowly get the Mitons. He's already got Frozen Heart, Banshees now as well, building towards a possible Will of the Ancients as well, not completely sure. So, the damage coming out from Rise, as you saw on that AD carry, was so great. He can literally burst down a single target, no problem whatsoever now. So really, CLG, I'm not sure if there's actually any coming back for them right now. I mean, they've left it too long. They've got the likes of Rise on SK right now, who can do so much damage. Early game, Froggen did such a great job at shutting him down, but now he is kind of out of his control, so I really don't know.
Well, I think that CLG have every chance to still pull this one back. The problem there is that Ash got caught out, and then Nocturne felt compelled to try and help her out. Then he got took down as well. Suddenly a 3 versus 5, and the free Baron was definitely ripe for the taking as far as SK were concerned. And that's just purely down to positioning. Enzi, Yellow Pete just got caught out of position and he got punished for it, and so did his team. So it's really going to be down to these this next one or two team fights here. Of course, CLG are going to have to be very, very careful. They have a team with full Baron right now. It's not looking too good for them, but they could conceivably pull themselves back into this one. Rise has that Banshee's Veil, so he's just going to be able to soak up the likes of a Nocturne ultimate, the likes of an Ash ultimate as well, which of course makes him a real pain in the backside, especially with that Frozen Heart as well. It's very, very difficult to actually take that Rise down, Enzi, unless you focus him first. And really, when you have the likes of a Tristana just completely decimating a team, you don't basically focus the Rise first. You want rid of that Tristana. They're now going to try and use this Baron Bush buff and just basically bully the opposition by taking this tower down. They've already taken the top 2 in here. They're going to have this last stand coming in from CLG. Big ultimate there from Kennen, do quite a lot of damage, but not enough to really pose too much of a threat. Having said that, the Rise has gone down, as is Udi. A double kill coming in from Nocturne. Suddenly the Hunters become the hunted, and they're trying everything they can here, SK, to pull themselves back. Tristana being forced to use the rocket jump just to escape. Beautiful play from CLG. That Kennen ultimate and Hourglass just really coming out of nowhere, doing so much damage. In the end, the stuns as well that come along with that beautiful play, but they're still very, very much up against it, as one of their Nexus towers has just been taken there. In amongst all that action, of course, the super minions had pushed the top and the mid as well. And so, SK are probably thinking, oh, well, we lost that team fight, but we don't really care a great deal because we're still fairly far ahead here. But what a game this has been.
Indeed, SK really smart there. They kind of got them inhibitors down, and then they applied the pressure in a different lane, and then it kind of forced SK out. They knew, okay, so if this, no, not SK, if CLG, they knew, okay, if this third inhibitor goes down, we're going to be under constant pressure. There's literally no way back into this. We're going to be under constant bombardment from them super minions. Have to stay in the base. That's going to allow SK to farm up, get buffs left, right, and center, and then just go all out on the gold difference, get another Baron and push as well. So they thought, okay, we need to fight now, but the bad thing about that is even if they fight, the super minions from 2 other lanes are going to be pushing that Nexus, and like you saw, they did just claim a turret, one more turret, and then the Nexus is vulnerable.
Absolutely, and I said it before, Enzi, when I was commentating, that was CLG's last stand. That was make or break, sink or swim time for them, and that they did manage to stay afloat just for a few more seconds. Having said that, though, they're still definitely behind. That was a minor hiccup there for SK. They're not going to be too bothered, of course. They had Baron already, so CLG couldn't have gone to pick that one up. They can't really push a great deal either. They're going to have to turtle in basically until their inhibs respawn, in which time it's basically just going to give SK free realm, free roaming around the map, picking up as many minions as they possibly want, taking position jungle, pushing very, very aggressively, and it looks like they may be opting to push that bot lane once again here.
Yep, indeed, that's exactly what they need to do, just apply pressure in another lane, let the super minions do their job, and that's how you finish a game off, especially when you have 2 inhibs down.
Alrighty, so here comes SK, all 5 players strong. That tower only has about 400 HP remaining, so it's going to go down very quickly from the likes of Tristana. Ash Arrow has came in, lands onto Lee Sin. Here comes a Paranoia as well. Shirai's Reverie has been popped, but a beautiful kickback there, and a Rune Prison onto Kennen is going to suggest that he's going to play no further part in this game. They focus Kennen so well in this team fight, and now Tristana has been given free reigns to just go completely mental, taking down 2 players, right back onto Nocturne, and that's going to be a 4th kill onto Ash. Just Kennen survives, and I cannot stress the importance of that Rune Prison and kickback from Lee Sin. They completely shut down the Kennen. He couldn't get into the team fight, couldn't pop off his ultimate, couldn't use anything, and that's going to be the team ace and a well-deserved victory there to SK. So we'll be going into game number 3 between these League of Legends titans. Beautiful game.
Yeah, what a great semi-final we have right here before your eyes. It's a shame we missed the first game, I heard that was a good one as well. But, we are going to bring you game number 3 as well. And I really can't wait, Vince. I mean, this game was very, very close. I hope we see a kind of repeat of that. But, that last team fight was just so great from the likes of Lee Sin and Ocelot there. That it did exactly what they needed to do, is to just shut that Kennen down.
I cannot stress the importance of their teamwork right there, Enzi. You know, Kennen was... They're basically like, who's their danger man? Okay, it's Kennen. Kennen does the most damage. He can stun pretty much our entire team, and he can go invulnerable for a couple seconds. Okay, I know what we'll do. We'll completely get him out the team fight and focus down the rest of his team. Then he's in a 1v5 and he can't do anything. And that's exactly what they did. The Rune Prison and the kickback together kicked him way back out the team fight. Gangplank was all by his lonesome, went down very quick from Tristana, and then Tristana just completely unleashed fury and hell on the opposition. Beautiful teamwork there. Absolutely exquisite. Couldn't have been better.
Indeed. And I think, are we going to go straight into game number 3? I'm not sure. I think we might go for a break, right, Vince?
I am waiting for an invite, Enzi. So, of course, once we get the invites, we'll be in. And as soon as we are in, we will go live again. So I think we're going to cut to a very quick commercial break, guys. Don't go anywhere. You simply do not want to miss this third game between SK Gaming and CLG in the semi-finals of the Corsair Vengeance Cup with $10,000 up for grabs. We'll see you right after these.